Hey, what's up guys? hvac.boss here with another video. We're gonna call it Boss Talk, okay? This is gonna be for all the new technicians, either wanting to get into the trade or already in the trade. Maybe you're in for a few months, couple weeks, couple years. This video is for you. Now, if you guys are probably wondering what my bags is doing up here, this is my Vito TPXL, and my new bag up here in the front is a TPXXL. I'm going to also be making a video once I'm done with this video on a loadout. I figured it'd be the best time to do it. I know a few of you guys DM me asking me questions about my loadout in my bag. It's long overdue. Well, here it is. So stay tuned for that video. All right, guys, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I didn't have a whole lot of time to write down some of the questions you guys been sending me. Some of you guys been DMing me. Some of you guys put comments, either if you follow me on Instagram or you follow me on YouTube. I appreciate for those of you guys that are always, subscribing and liking my content. My objective with making these videos is hopefully helping some of you younger guys out, learning a few tricks of the trade, giving you the true, uncut version, at least from a boss perspective of what we do out here. So let's get down to it. The first question, hit me.
As a business owner, when hiring, what do you look for in a new service technician?
That's a great question. Okay, so somebody has DM'd me that question as a business owner, as a boss, what is it I look for in a new service tech? Or it could even be a technician or even an apprentice, somebody coming right out of school. Here's what I look for, guys. Despite this, contrary to popular belief, is I'm not looking for me personally, I'm not looking for the skill what skill level he has. I'm looking for, does he have the work ethic? Is this guy going to show up on time? Is this guy have potential to learn? Does he work well with others? Is he going to have a problem with his supervisors? That's kind of things I'm looking for in a new technician. Be honest. You come in for an interview. Be honest. If you're fresh out of school. You're interviewing with whoever it may be, an owner of a company or a manager or supervisor. Be honest with them. What is it you know how to do when you don't know how to do? Don't be one of those guys, because I've had plenty of those come through here, is, oh, yeah, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, and I can install for me, or I can install to that. And truth be told, they don't got much experience. And it's going to show, guys. It's going to show. Anytime you get in a company, if you say you're a service guy and you've had a couple years under your belt, they're going to throw you in a truck and send you out there on your way to run service calls. And if you don't know what you're doing or you lack some knowledge in certain things, it's going to show. And that's going to look very bad on your part. So obviously, when you go and interview, what I look for is just be honest with me. Tell me what you know how to do and what you don't know how to do. And if you're fresh out of school, just be honest and say, hey, I'm fresh out of school. I don't got much experience, but I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to work hard. I'm willing to do anything to get ahead with your company. And that's the kind of stuff I like to hear.
Okay. What can you recommend to a new technician fresh out of school? How can they get hired as a trainee? Okay.
I think I covered it. That was part of a little bit of the other question. Well, getting hired as a trainee, there's a misconception. My opinion is you don't necessarily have to go to school. I think going to school is great. There's some great schools out there in the HVAC world. But if you find a company that's willing to hire you as an apprentice, and pay you as you go along, I think that's great. There's no better way of learning in this trade than, hands-on. You're going to learn a lot faster than you would in a classroom. You're going to learn, and then the greatest thing is you're making money while you're getting, while you're learning, So knowledge is powered, guys. I see some of you younger guys, always chasing the money, always chasing the raise, always chasing the more money. Well, guys, I think you guys are chasing the wrong thing. I know you guys are like, what do you mean? Let me explain. So knowledge, guys, knowledge is power. What you got up here is what's worth money. If you have the knowledge, you take the time to educate yourself and learn this trade very well, the money's going to follow. chase the knowledge, don't chase the money. That's what the best advice I can give to a new guy coming in.
How do you feel about new technicians automatically expecting high pay out of school?
Okay. All right, guys. If you're one of those new technicians, you might have done great in your class. You guys did great. You're top of your class. Your instructor's favorite. That's fine and dandy, guys. But I can assure you, when you get out here in this field, it's going to be a whole different ball game. Being out here. So don't come in with the expectation is, hey, I want to make as much as money as a technician that's been here for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Get rid of that idea. I don't think it's a great idea. What you should come in humble. Be humble. Take anything. Right now, our current market. I'm down here in California, in Fresno. A new guy coming out of school could be worth to me, from $17 an hour to $20 an hour, maybe even $16 an hour, depending on the individual. Like I said, I'm looking for the individual that shows up on time, has got that work ethic. That's most important to me, is the work ethic. The guy's going to be showing up. The guy's got a long term where he wants to be here. He wants to grow with our company. That's the kind of things I look for. But we all got to start at the bottom and work our way up. For me, if I want to go work for somebody else, I don't care what they give me minimum wage. Let my work speak for itself. Start me at minimum wage and let me work my way up from there, because I'm going to be confident in what I can do. And if they value that, then I'm going to be making the money right away that I expect to make.
Okay. What can you tell the people who are rethinking their HVAC career because their local In-N-Out and McDonald's are hiring at around $18 to $20 an hour?
Okay, and that goes back to the knowledge, guys. And I'm not... Okay, first let me disclaimer. I'm not trying to knock on anybody that works at McDonald's or works at any other fast food place. I know some other HVAC bloggers out there is posting that McDonald's is hiring at $18, $19, $20 an hour, whatever it is. Guys, what knowledge can you get if you're in the HVAC world, or you want to get in the HVAC world? What are you going to get out of working at McDonald's? In my opinion, I think that's silly. You're not going to learn anything. You're going to get by. You're going to survive. Maybe you're going to pay some bills for a couple months, couple years, but then that's it. Where are you going to go with it? Unless that's that kind of career you want to focus on and grow. But if you want to get into the HVAC world, or you are in the HVAC, then no, guys, stay away from that. And I don't just say that as a boss, guys. Like, remember, what knowledge can you get from flipping burgers? I think that's silly. I don't think you should listen to that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody out there that's been posting that. That's not my intent. But I think it's silly. Learn knowledge. And again, guys, I can't emphasize this enough. Knowledge is power, guys. And if you have the knowledge, the money will follow. I promise and I guarantee it. I give you my word. Keep learning, how to get better at what you do in the HVAC. Keep learning. There's always something new to learn. I've been in it for 22 years, and I'm still learning something new every day. And on the weekends when I'm off, if I'm off on the weekend, you know what? I'm here on my tablet. I'm watching videos of other HVAC guys who've been doing it a lot longer than I have. Maybe they only been doing it for 5 years. And maybe I learned something from them. That's okay. I'm always constantly trying to feed knowledge into my head. I love knowledge. I love what I do. And the funny thing is like I said, the money will follow right behind it.
Okay, I'm glad you touched up on the subject about learning. What can you recommend to technicians trying to build up their experience?
Well, if you get hired on with a company and you're an apprentice, or you've been doing HVAC for a year, 2 years, 3 years, this is for you. Again, don't go home. Say you got a weekend off because you're not on call. You have a weekend off. At least spend 3-4 hours, guys, reading some books. Maybe on YouTube, learning about compressors, learning about heat pump systems, zone systems, just different. I mean, I can sit here and name so many things. Learn, and getting yourself better with what you're not strong in. You know, every now and again I run into a system that I'm not too familiar with. At the end of the day, I'll get it fixed, and maybe something I didn't understand 100%. You know what I do? I go home that night and I'll sit there and research it and read up on it. That way, next time around, I come across it, I'm a little bit better familiar with it, and I'll be an expert by the time, the second or third time I run into that unit. That's what I recommend is, you know, educate yourself, guys. A lot of guys want to come into this industry and you guys want to make a ton of money, but you guys don't want to put the effort into it. It doesn't work that way, guys. The more effort, the more knowledge you get is what you're going to make. You know, and again, I'll keep saying that. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'll keep emphasizing it. You know, knowledge is power. Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. You know, and like I said, and never stop in learning, guys. You know, stay humble. You know, I'll touch on another subject. You know, there's a couple guys, and you know, they get into this. They've been doing this for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it may be, and now they're up here. You know, and they don't want to listen to their supervisors. They don't want to listen to their managers. You know, they kind of walk in. They walk in every morning to their shop, you know, strolling in, kind of like, you know, they're doing the company a favor by showing up. And guys, I can assure you, you know, like I always tell my guys, hey, I appreciate you guys' work. I appreciate you guys' hard work. But you know, companies, you know, they were up and running before you came. And I can guarantee you guys, even if you go put in your notice and you leave, the companies are going to still stay up and running, continue to grow, continue to make money, even long when you're gone. So get that notion out of your head that if I leave a company, you know, they're going to regret it. Guys, it's neither here or there. I think you should focus on yourself. Stay humble. You know, there's always something to learn. You know, I don't mind. You know, I remember last year summer I was riding with a trainee from a different company, was wanting to make the lateral transfer to us, and he actually showed me something working on a unit that I never knew about. You know, how to get through something. I'm not gonna say what it was, but how to diagnose something a little faster. I've diagnosed it a certain way, and he says, hey, my boss showed me how to diagnose it this way, and I gotta admit, it was a lot faster way. And I was like, wow, this guy showed me something. So like I said, guys, you know, stay humble. You know, I don't know everything. You know, and I don't think I ever will, but I know enough to get the job done. And I'm constantly I am continuing education. I was educating myself, whether it be on books, whether it be on the internet, whether it be on YouTube, watching other guys, learning how to do things. It's always continuing. You know, our industry is always evolving. New products are always coming out, new circuit boards, new low NOx emission gas valves, burners, you know, especially down here in California. You know, for those of you guys who are in California, know what I'm talking about. So it seems right now our industry seems to be changing a lot around that. So there's a little bit more to learn. You know, all you read up on it, research on it a little bit, you know. And more importantly, you know, like I said, being humble, you know, respect your older senior technicians, you know, respect your supervisor, respect your boss. You know what? Some of you guys, I get it. Some of you guys might have some bosses that you don't like, or they're real jerks to you, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, guys, while you're there, you respect him. You give the man his respect no matter what. He's your boss. He's your supervisor. He's your manager. You show the man respect. Not maybe him personally, but the title he carries. Because whatever case may be, he earned it to get there. And that, you know, if you got to respect as a man to yourself, you should respect that title. You know, and so don't be disrespectful to your upper management. Is what I recommend to the newer guys coming into the trade. Let me read on some of my notes here that I wrote down, and also new guys coming in, or guys that's been in the industry for a couple years. You guys want to move up to a different company. Here's what I look at, guys. You know, when I'm looking at resumes, I'm constantly looking for those company jumpers. You know, let me explain what that means. I look at a resume and I see a guy's been at a company for 1 year. He's been at this other company for 6 months. He's been at this other company maybe for 2 years. And I'll ask them. I'll question them on it. I'll say, hey, what's going on here? And, you know, I noticed that you were working at this company, and as it seems to be, I'm always getting the same answer. No, it was my manager, it was my supervisor, it was my boss. But when I see constant repeat of different companies like that, guys, I'm starting to think to myself, you know, and I said, maybe it's not the managers, maybe it's not your boss, maybe it wasn't the company, maybe it's you, you know, and you just haven't realized it yet. So definitely doesn't look good on a resume, guys, to be jumping company to company. I like to see bare minimum that you're working at a company for 3 years and you left because you want to move up, or you left because you want, you know, you felt you outgrown that company, or you just looking for a different opportunity, and that's fine. But I look for long term, you know, resumes. You know, you've been there for a couple years, and I know a lot of company owners look for that. You know, because there is you know, guys that for whatever reason like jumping company to company, and I think that looks really bad upon your resume. You know, because they can all be bad, right? So eventually somebody's going to put two and two together when you're interviewing. They're going to be like, I don't think it's the companies, I don't think it was the managers, I think it's the technician, you know. So keep that in mind. That's something to you know, process. You know, HVAC is a very good industry. HVAC, I love what I do. You know, I love doing this kind of work, guys. I've been in it for a long time. In the service field, you know, 22 years. I think it's a great trade, especially nowadays the way things are going. There's not a lot of people lining up in our trade, you know, to get in. Which that means to us technicians that are here, that's going to be more money. That's what it comes down to. It's going to be more money we're going to be making as time goes on.
Another question that came in is, how do you deal with the on-call schedule? How can you combine your personal life and balance the on-call schedule?
You know, that's a very good question. That's $1 million question right there, guys. You know, that's a tough one, but it certainly is doable. So being on call, guys, that's just part of our industry. You're not going to find a company, at least in the service. You know, I do service, repair, residential, and commercial. You're never going to find a company that doesn't have on call. That's just not it. You know, you are going to find companies that have better on-call rotations than others. You know, and particularly with my company, you're on call once a month. You know, every 4 to 5 weeks, you're on call one Saturday and Sunday, which I don't think the rotation is too bad. You know, and this was how I got through it. You know, when I was working, I was working. When I was on call, I was on call. Try not to make any plans. You know, don't plan on going to the movies. Don't plan on going to birthday parties, guys, because maybe you haven't been, it's Saturday morning, you haven't been called out all day. Because I can guarantee you guys, the minute you just get out of the shower, the minute you drive up to the birthday party, the minute you bought your tickets to the movie, is when your phone's going to ring. And all it's going to do is just upset you. So the best advice I can give you, normally what me and my wife used to do at the time is, hey, you know, we just hang out and watch some movies at home. Really didn't make any plans for that weekend. That way I knew, you know, I dedicated you know, I always had in the back of my mind, hey, I can get called out at any point in time. That way if I did get called out, I wasn't upset about it. And, you know, and when you're not on call, guys, and yeah, especially if you have a family, you got young kids, of course we want to be with our family as much as we can. Now, this I suggest to you is spend as much as time you know, you have with them. You know, when you're off. When you're off, be off, guys. You know, don't you know, be out there hanging around with the friends and stuff like that. Hang out with the family. You know, put your time and effort with your kids, and that has served me very well. That's how I got through my own call. It's been about 4 years, guys, that I got off the rotation of being on call, but I'm still there when the call load gets heavy on the weekends, particularly in the summertime. You know, I come out on Saturdays and help my guys run calls, because, you know, I'm not going to sit back and watch them struggle with them large amount of calls and me sit at home. That's just not me. That's not how I'm programmed. It never will. It never will be me. And as long as I got breath in these lungs, I'm always going to help my guys out no matter what. And so keep that in mind, and remind your girlfriends, remind your wives, guys. behind every successful man, there's a strong woman. And I really mean that, guys. Hopefully your wives through your career as you're learning, if you're barely new into the trade, hopefully they can support you. Be there for you guys, because you got to be mental strong for this trade. Make no mistake about it. HVAC is mentally could be mentally straining. It's not for the weak at heart or the weak minded. That's if you're one of those guys, get out of the trade. Don't waste your time. Don't waste anybody else's time, guys. Sorry, I don't want to be mean, but that's just the reality of it. You can make a lot of money making it in this career, and God knows, this industry has been very good to me, and been good to a lot of my guys. So that's all I have to say about that. Is the on-call. It gets better, and as time goes on, guys, as you get seniority, particularly in my company, you get seniority, you no longer have to work the rotation on call on the weekend, but it's based on seniority. And as the new guys are coming in, you guys are getting trained in, they fill your spot. If you're a 10-year, 15-year veteran, then you won't have to run on call. So I think that concludes most of the questions we had. If there's some questions, guys, you guys some newbies or some service technicians that you guys want some answers to, send me messages. Post them on here on the comments below. If there's any subjects you guys want me to touch, and I'll be more than happy to give you my honest opinion to my best of my ability. Hopefully this video serves you guys well, and it's fun to me making these videos, and I just want to try to move some of the knowledge that I've learned along the way to some of you new guys, either that's been in it, like I said, is barely getting into it, or has been in it for a few years. Hopefully my videos help you out. Till next time, guys, hvac boss, let's get it.